And this is hopefully on. What do you mean you live streaming isn't available right now? How we doing, everybody? Welcome
Is
to...
it true? I don't know. I can't tell.
Welcome to the Deadpool Wolverine Super Duper Spoiler Chat Live. Where we're going to be talking all the spoilers, all the things. We're going to be doing a much more thorough review of Deadpool and Wolverine.
God damn it.
Well, you know, it might work in a second. Try again.
But we are on Twitch?
We are on Twitch.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Okay. I think...
It says we're live now.
Yeah, there it is. I got the notification for it. Come on. There we go.
What's up, Internet? Welcome to a Deadpool Wolverine live spoiler chat. As we're going to be chatting with you about what we thought.
And about what you thought.
About the movie that came out this weekend, Deadpool and Wolverine.
We always say that a movie comes out on the weekend, but it never actually comes out on a weekend.
I mean, they do come out on the weekend, right?
They come out on Thursday.
Well, technically, no. They technically come out on Friday. We just skirt the rules. And
I think Thursday is not the weekend.
Well,
is Friday the weekend? It's
yes.
also not the weekend. No, that's still part of the work week.
There is nobody on the world. We are all on the world. Are you disagreeing with that statement?
No.
There's no one on the planet Earth who looks at Friday and goes, that's not the weekend. That's prime weekend real estate.
No, the weekend is Saturday, Sunday.
No, the weekend is from the time you get off of work on Friday until Monday morning. That's the weekend. I am correct about this.
I am going to say that you're wrong, but it doesn't matter in this context.
So wait, you really don't view Friday night as the weekend?
No. Friday is a weekday.
That is that might be the craziest thing you've ever said.
No, it's Friday. There's 5 weekdays and 2 weekends.
Friday night is the weekend. It is known by Ibrahim. Lemon Squeezy says 100%. I'm pretty sure I am 100% correct here. And I think that it is very odd that you worked in restaurants for as long as you did and you still don't think that Friday night is the weekend.
What does restaurants have to do with anything?
Because Friday night is like prime weekend restaurant time. As people who make money in that industry.
Prime restaurant time.
Yeah, because it's the weekend. Because people are off work. The week is over. It's time to celebrate. You're lumping in like Friday night is more weekend time than Sunday night is.
What do you mean?
Well, because Sunday night you have to like go to bed
is the evening
and prepare
different?
for Monday morning work.
But like the time of evening is still 5 p.m. to midnight.
So, yeah, and I'm saying that like Friday from 5 p.m. to midnight is more weekend vibes than Sunday 5 p.m. to midnight.
You said time, and I was like, no, it's the same number of hours.
No, but it's more like weekend time in terms of like usage than Sunday night is.
Well, I guess that just depends on what you're doing with your Friday night or your Sunday night.
Everyone was working for the weekend. You know what's funny about that? We danced with that band.
Oh, yeah, we did.
At the Jupiter Awards in 2010.
The Jupiter Awards?
Jupiter.
The Gemini Awards?
Gemini Awards. Right. The
Strong start.
The Jupiter Awards.
Start. I have no idea what
No, the Saturn Awards. There's a bunch of...
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we danced on Loverboy.
The Gemini Awards.
We danced with... and Corey Monteith from
R.I.P.
Glee was on the drums.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was a weird day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then he died.
It's weird sometimes remembering that you and I have, like, a long history together. Where we can be like, oh, yeah, like, 14 years ago, we danced with the lead singer of Loverboy.
That was 2015.
That was not 2015.
Sorry,
2015, I was fully living in New York City.
I mean, I was 15. So, wait, so that was 2010. Sorry.
Yes, it was my final year of Young Canadians.
Great.
That's what I meant by 14 years ago, because it's 2024 right now.
No, I think you're lying.
Nope, I'm correct. What's up, everybody? This is supposed to be about Deadpool and Wolverine. This opening chat has been an opportunity for you all to get into the room. Before we tell you, we're going to talk full spoilers.
Yeah. Get the fuck out if you don't want to be spoiled on this movie. Right now, leave.
We are going to talk full spoilers. We are not going to hold back. So if you have not yet seen Deadpool and Wolverine, or if you don't care, stick around. But if you do care, this is a full spoiler chat. Oh no, Sigzil's leaving.
Yeah, sorry.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, don't, yeah. Frankie means it's not a nerdy nightly stream if both Nerdy and Clars don't each get something wrong. That's correct.
True. I said the Jupiter words and you don't understand years.
No, I said the wrong math.
Danny Plays NQ says, wait, you were 15? She was 15 once. That's what happens.
At one point in my life, and then I got older.
There will be 1 year in your life where you too will be 15, Danny Plays NQ. And then, after that, you will tell stories about that year where you will have been 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Spoiler, don't you? Yeah,
this is crazy how...
big spoilers.
Big spoilers. Deadpool
Large
and Wolverine
spoilers.
is a new movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe as purchased by Mickey Mouse himself in collaboration with Fox Studios as purchased by Mickey Mouse himself, brought together under the singular banner that is Marvel Studios to bring heroes old and new together. And some heroes who are new but who have been talked about for a long time that made me yelp.
And some heroes that are old and new.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Well, Wolverine in this movie would be considered old and new. Because this is a new Logan Wolverine we've never seen on screen before.
The worst one.
But also,
canonically.
It's still Hugh Jackman. And he is way too old to look as good as he does.
I know. It's really rude.
I know. There's that guy on TikTok that's spending millions of dollars to look young. And I feel like he should just be hanging out with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. That's weird.
We don't need to comment on it. And Hugh, there till he's 90. Till You're 90 was a good bit. Yeah. Especially now that, like, the announcement yesterday that Robert Downey Jr. will be playing Doom in the MCU in 2026. I was like, oh, yeah, that's... They're really never going to let any of these people go. No, apparently not. It seems weird to me. Like, you would think that, like... I don't know, maybe give someone else a chance. Yeah. But I would rather, honest, I'm not gonna lie, I am hoping that when we do get to the X-Men, I am the biggest Hugh Jackman fan, right? Yeah. I love him dearly and will forever stand. However, I would like someone else to play Wolverine. And if it is going to be Henry Cavill, so be it. He looked good. Yeah. Oh, he looked great. That was so weird because I almost didn't recognize him. The Wolverine facial hair is a choice. Those mutton chops. Only very few people can pull it off. Hugh Jackman is one of them. But I don't know. The Doctor Doom thing is weird. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, I definitely I think that there's been a lot of conversation already about how Marvel is cast another Romani character with a white actor. And I think that there is definitely an argument to be made there. I think that there's some really valid criticism, I think, of Marvel in some ways in the way that they've cast their universe. I think that there is also a tremendous amount of credit that has to go to Marvel for the diversity that they have brought to their universe, just not particularly towards the Romani. And I think that is, it really is an interesting conversation about like how we view diversity, not to get into the DEI of it all, because I don't obviously hold water with any of that argument, but there is a way in which we view certain races as needing in diversity and others as being opportunities to continue an erasure that has been going on for too long, right? And I think that I don't know how I feel about it. I also think that this is not going to be the main Doctor Doom of this universe. This is going to be a one movie thing that is going to set up Secret Wars to lean into the multiverse side of it. So what do you mean set up Secret Wars? What do you mean? Didn't they already do? Oh no, sorry, Secret Invasion. No, Secret Wars is coming in 2027. So which is different than Secret Invasion. Yes, very, 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 very different. Thank God. Secret Wars is sort of this like multiversal battle, basically. It's sort of the Crisis on Infinite Earths of the Marvel Universe. Okay. And Secret Invasion is a very good comic book and a very very bad television show.
Yeah. We didn't love it.
So, going into Deadpool and Wolverine, I think a big conversation around this show, or this movie rather, has been, can it save Marvel, right? And so before we get into our conversation about the movie, I did want to ask you, Clarence, going into Deadpool and Wolverine, how are you feeling about the MCU post Endgame?
Yeah, I feel like I take objection to the fact that the Marvel needs saving.
Oh, really?
Look, here's the thing. If they just spend a little less money, they're fine. They just need to like chill the fuck out a bit. Honestly, I think I know a couple recent movies haven't made as much money as people want them to.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think they just need to scale down. I think they're just too big, and I think that they just need to literally chill the fuck out. I don't think they need to be saved. Like, that it's just a weird way to put it. And I don't know if I particularly like that phrasing of it.
I understand the phrasing of it in that I don't think that they need to be saved from the quality of the movies themselves, right? I think that they need a savior. Marvel Scoop, thank you for subscribing at Tier 1. Welcome in. I think that they need to be saved from the apathy of the audience right now. I don't think that the general audience cares about the MCU at the moment. I think the audience will still show up for certain projects, right?
Okay.
I think Agatha All Along, or whatever they're calling it, Agatha Coven of Darkness, or they've changed the name so many fucking times, I have
Agatha.
no idea.
We'll just go with Agatha.
I think they need to be saved from the feeling that the audience has that it isn't worth it to follow the MCU. And so I think that in that way, I think this movie and the RDJ announcement actually do a really good job of pushing that, right? I think that the one thing that the Doctor Doom announcement does have people is that it does have people talking about the future of the MCU again.
Sure.
And whether or not you like it or hate it, the fact that it is the number one talking point on Twitter today is going to be a boon for them moving forward, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Marvel Scoop, I just want to say thank you for gifting a sub over on Twitch. Appreciate it.
Thank you for gifting. That's amazing.
No, people are definitely talking about it, and I'm not going to lie. I definitely see upset about the announcement. And unfortunately, I think that these kind of announcements are taking things in the wrong direction to make the Marvel Cinematic Universe sustainable.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how sustainable it is, honestly. I don't know that I agree with that. But again, that goes back to how much money they have to spend on each of these productions. And also how the productions that they're choosing to focus on instead of building franchises. I think one of the problems that I have with Marvel at the moment, and going into Deadpool and Wolverine, I was excited for this to... Oh, College Bro, thank you for gifting a sub. Holy shit.
To Marvel.
Appreciate that. To Marvel. Wait, did you just gift a sub to, like, Marvel Studios?
I don't think Marvel Studios is on Twitch.
I'm sure they are. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Wow. Okay, cool. Marvel is now subscribed. Thank you, College Bro. That is very funny.
Appreciate that.
And Scoop just gifted to Clark Splash. We're on a hype train.
What?
What's going on over on Tweet?
Thank you so much. Choo-choo.
I think that the fact that we have not yet had a Shang-Chi 2 or a Hawkeye Season 2 or a WandaVision Season 2.
It's like they're starting these things and then just killing them.
They're dropping all of them immediately after Season 1.
Yeah, College Bro, thank you for gifting a sub to Stan Lee.
I love the meme subs. That's so funny.
Stanley definitely likes our emotes.
What's up, Fabu? Thank you for subbing. Oh my god, I think we just hit level 2. Are we on a level 2 hype train?
Yeah.
What's up, Twitch? Thank you for popping off.
Thank you, Fabu.
Thanks, Fabu. We'll see you in a month. I do think that the choices of projects and Disney Plus's unwillingness to make television properly is driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I look, Percy Jackson Season 1 was not my favorite season of television, but thank God at least it's getting a Season 2. Like, at least that show is being treated like a television show.
Yeah.
Whereas the MCU TV shows, I'm like, none of these were TV shows. They were just kind of movies that you released slowly that aren't leading anywhere, because the WandaVision TV show doesn't lead into Wanda's mental state in Doctor Strange very well.
No, I don't think it does a good job of that.
The Loki season 2 has nothing to do with Thor: Love and Thunder. The Secret Invasion and the Marvels directly contradict each other in terms of what happened to the Skrulls on Earth, right? And so you have this situation where not only are these TV shows not getting season 2s and not continuing their own stories, but they actually don't line up with the characters that those characters are either related to or like very close friends with.
Yeah.
They're not lining up the movies and the TV shows in a way where they benefit each other, but they just kind of make each other more confusing.
Yes. They are making it convoluted for kind of no reason. Marvel Scoop, thank you for the 100 biddies. Appreciate that.
Which is, thank you, Marvel Scoop, genuinely, which is how the comic books work.
Mm-hmm.
But in the comic books, there will be an editorial note that says, like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, they will just, there is an expectation in comics that you are telling kind of contain stories within a larger universe that sometimes kind of mesh together and sometimes don't.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have the live action TV show and it is still Elizabeth Olsen playing that character, it is very odd for her to be a different version of that same character the next day, right?
Yeah. And Maria in chat brings up a good point that a lot of people never watched the Disney Plus series. And so then when you are making movies and spending so much money on them, for the audience to be confused because they haven't watched the side thing because they don't subscribe to Disney Plus, I think that they're really doing themselves a disservice. And I agree with Freezing Radar that they should just be focusing on more solo films.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything has to be so interconnected, and you don't need to spend so much money on cameos.
Well, and I think that one of the mistakes that they made was they didn't kill enough people in Endgame.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Yeah. Like, I think that having so many characters running around that are not getting attention is actually a bad thing in a universe this big.
Sure.
I think more character... And look, I'm always the guy who's like, we need more characters to die. More character deaths in the MCU to clean the slate a little bit would actually benefit. Because there are some actors who have been in contracts for like 10 years who are probably like, I would love a heroic death and then I'm going to go win an Oscar, right? As opposed to, I'm going to be in one Marvel property what used to be every 2 years is now every 5 years.
Yeah.
Or 4 or 5 years, right?
Uh-huh.
Like Shang-Chi 2 will come out in 2027. But the plot, but at that point, like, do people care about Simu Liu as that character?
I don't know, which sucks.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites, and I really love Shang-Chi, and I know it's not everybody's favorite, but, like, I would rather them pick a thing and stick with it.
Yeah.
Make a sequel, like, continue a storyline.
Weirdly, I think the best use of the Marvel TV show into movie pipeline is actually Miss Marvel. I think the continuation of Miss Marvel into the Marvels was seamless. I thought her family fit very well.
Yeah.
I thought everything about the way they did the Miss Marvel TV show into the Marvels movie was excellent.
Yeah.
And I really liked the setup of Miss Marvel starting the Young Avengers, right? I feel like if there was any direction that I personally would have the MCU going right now and moving forward, is I would take that direction of the Miss Marvel show worked. People love that girl. I don't actually think the not Celestials, what were they called? What were they fucking called in that show?
Like...
Yeah, no, they were called the... I can't remember. I don't think that plotline worked, but I think the family, not the Eternals. That's the shirt I'm wearing. In the Clandestines. What were the race of bad guys in Miss Marvel?
They were Jinn, right? That was
the
whole
Jinn
thing.
Was,
there was like people were upset about that.
The Jinn was a name that people were using for them because they didn't know what they actually were.
Oh,
but they were called the somethings. And the fact that nobody in either of our chats knows is the Clandestines. I think it was the Clandestines, right?
Yeah.
That plotline didn't work to me. But the rest of Miss Marvel did. And the way that she transitioned into the movie really did.
Yes. The cast of that show was unreal. And unfortunately, the writing did not stand up to the fucking incredible actors that they had for the show.
And so I think that I'm hoping that Brave New World will be a good continuation of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that next year we'll get the Fantastic Four, which feels like a whole new thing again, even though it feels like we should be continuing some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make with all of this is I agree with you that I don't actually think the quality of the individual products is so bad that it needs saving.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Secret Invasion is that bad. But the rest of it I think is mostly good. I actually really liked the Marvels movie. I thought it was very funny.
We enjoyed Marvels. We're also one of the few people that enjoyed the Eternals.
I like the Eternals movie.
Yeah.
I think that what needs to be saved is the audience's feeling about the MCU moving forward.
Yes.
And so the question that I have for you then, now that we've talked about feelings going into this movie, do you think Deadpool and Wolverine did a good job of closing the chapter and moving the MCU forward, or not?
No.
Really?
Well, okay, here's the thing. I think that you could argue that the finale of this movie did kind of close the chapter to move on. But if we're talking about asking Marvel to separate its media from itself in a little bit.
Okay.
Like Deadpool 3 was all fucking cameos and callbacks. And Loki. Like you had to without seeing Loki, Deadpool 3 is like, okay, the TVA. Okay, what the fuck is that? And I think that the movie did explain it pretty decently. Mm-hmm. But if we are talking about that the Marvel Cinematic Universe needs to make more like separate storylines for people to enjoy so they don't feel like they have to watch 17 movies and 14 shows to keep up with it, I think Deadpool 3 is the opposite of that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, in a weird way. And I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy it because I very much had fun in the movie. Mm-hmm. But I think that we need to make less stuff like Deadpool 3 and more things like, honestly, I don't fucking burn me alive. More things like the Eternals where I feel like, no, I didn't need other Marvel stuff
I agree with that.
Actually really enjoy the movie and know what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if you watch all of it, there is definitely the question of, like, because Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness introduces the idea of incursions, where, like, if you're in the wrong universe, it creates problems. Yeah. That has not been true of any of the other properties.
Everyone just universe hops like it's a fucking subway train. Everyone
else universe hops without any sort of incursion, which we are told by Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness is the worst thing that can happen, and that, like, in that movie, they kill their best friend, that universe, right? They kill their Stephen Strange over it.
Right.
Because it's the worst thing ever. And now it's like, well, but actually the incursions from Doctor Strange don't actually happen for anybody else. So you don't, so actually don't worry about that with her. The multiverse is a mess, is my point.
It is. It really is a mess.
The multiverse has kind of become a mess.
And I talk about homework in chat, and I get that feeling, right? Like I do, like sometimes these shows feel like they are homework that needs to be done so that I can go enjoy a movie. Like that just seems ass backwards to me personally. A movie should not feel like homework. Like I just don't feel like there are essays and assignments I need to do beforehand. I should just be able to pick up my phone, buy a movie ticket on a whim, and go see something that is going to make me laugh, cry, sing, dance, weep, whatever it is. Like,
But is it okay for not everything to be that, right? Like, is it okay for Marvel Studios to do its own thing and not be the universe where you can understand everything about a movie? Here's my thing with Deadpool and Wolverine. Here's where I think I disagree with you. I think that even though, yes, this movie is improved by the homework that you can do by watching all the Marvel stuff, this movie is also improved by knowing celebrity culture lore from 2010 to understand the jokes. Yes. Does the movie have to hold the audience's hand through all of it, or can we just accept that this is a franchise where this isn't going to be the most accessible franchise you know what I mean?
Yeah, I 100% hear what you're saying. I think that if without the TVA of it all, Deadpool Wolverine would be wonderfully accessible to most people. And, and you know what I mean? Even me, who doesn't understand a lot of the pulp culture references, the movie, like, highlights them in a way that you're like, oh, this is a joke. Even if I don't understand it fully, like, I feel like I'm invited into it. I have seen a lot of people who didn't watch Loki and the TVA introduction was not good enough for them.
It's also my least favorite part of the movie.
It is my least favorite part of the movie. That's what I mean. Is that felt like it's like, well, okay, we gotta have it connected somehow, so I guess we'll use the TVA and have to do a bunch of exposition to make sure that people are on board, which we talked about, like the middle, this movie is fun and it's good. It had to do a lot of setup. It had to do a lot of work, and that beginning stuff dragged a bit, honestly. The movie was longer than I think it needed to be because it felt the need to shoehorn itself into We Are Marvel. Bump-a-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel Scope, thank you for those 100
Marvel
biddies.
Scoop, thank you for those biddies.
Scoop.
I agree with that. I think that the thing, because I would give this movie like an 8 out of 10, right? And I think that the things that are missing in this universe is, for me, that cohesion, right? That this movie was missing that sort of tight movie feeling because of the TVA. Yeah. Because and Ryan RH brings up a great point here. Let's start at the top of the movie. Can you talk about what universe we're in? It starts in 616, then jumps to 10,005.
Yeah.
Is this a different Deadpool from the movies 1 and 2? No, this is the same Deadpool from movies 1 and 2.
But it is in 616 at the beginning.
But using the time device from Deadpool 2, he went around and destroyed the Green Lantern script, which implies that he was able to come to our universe.
Yeah.
And then he took himself to the 616 universe so that Marina Baccarin would like him again.
Which, here's the thing.
Because he talked to, first cameo of the movie, Jon Favreau.
Oh, yeah.
Looking great behind the desk. In pre-Tony Stark is dead times. Right?
Uh-huh.
Because that cameo takes place in universe prior to Endgame.
Yeah.
Which is very funny to me. That the movie had to like have jokes about the fact that for the scene to make sense, it's before Endgame and Tony Stark is still alive. Was like oh my god, we're starting off with a very convoluted moment, and then using a time device that is not a. Well, I guess it has to be a dimension device. No, it had to be a dimension device.
It's never set up that it is a dimension device.
No, it has to be, because he comes to our universe to delete the script for Green Lantern. And he goes into...
Yes, but that's what I mean.
No, it has to be a dimension device.
In Deadpool 2, it is never set up as it...
No, it is. It has to be, because he goes into the X-Men Origins universe to kill himself.
Who?
Deadpool does, in Deadpool 2. So it has to be a dimension device.
He kills himself?
Yeah,
when?
he kills closed mouth Wade Wilson.
That's Wade Wilson?
Have you never seen X-Men Origins, Wolverine?
No, I have. I have technically seen that movie.
So actually, no, it is a dimension device. So he uses the dimension device from Deadpool 2, which is gone for some reason in this movie, even though that device would solve all the problems of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, one of my biggest questions in this film was what happened to the device that would solve all of your problems that you previously had.
Oh, he destroyed it. He says that.
Okay.
There is a one-off line where he says, oh yeah, I destroyed it.
Right, because otherwise the plot of this movie wouldn't happen.
Can't happen. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, cool.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely a point watching the movie where I was like...
wait a minute.
Didn't he have something for us? Anyway. So he goes to the 616 universe to become an Avenger, which he knows about because he's Deadpool, I guess. Because there aren't any Avengers in his universe.
No, there are?
No, they're not.
Wait, no, so the Avengers are only in 10005.
No, the Avengers are in 616.
Right, sorry, 616 is dying.
No, 10005 is dying.
No, he says this is my... Wait, no,
wait. Deadpool's universe is 10005.
Well, I thought he started in 616.
That's where this movie starts?
Yes.
With the Jon Favreau Happy Hogan. Thank you for the 45 bits, Marvel Scoop.
Thank you.
So, okay. This movie's not convoluted at all. The movie starts in 616 with our Deadpool. Well, actually, no. The movie actually technically starts in whatever universe Logan takes place in.
Right, Logan. Right, yeah, whatever universe Logan takes place in.
Okay, so the movie starts in Logan's universe. Then we have the opening fight, which is Chef's kiss.
Honestly, amazing sequence.
Yeah.
Bye. Fight scene is wonderful. Immaculate.
Then he goes to 616 to become or we flash back to him in 616.
Right.
Michael David says Logan is in 616. No, Logan is not in 616.
No.
Okay. Let's just get the locations right. We start Logan universe. We go to a flashback to 616, which leads into another flashback in 10005, which leads into the Logan sequence. So then we're back in Logan. Then from Logan's universe, we go back to 10005 for the birthday dinner scene, which leads to the TVA. Which then from the TVA we go to the Void. I think those are all the universes in the... No. And then we do the like X-Men hopping sequence where we go to all of the universes.
Yeah, sure.
To find Logan's.
Yeah.
Then we get Wolverine. And then with Wolverine they go to the Void. Yes. That's it.
Sure.
But like why wasn't... So Deadpool wanted to... Deadpool's pitch to Morena Baccarin, because she's like, I want you to do something with your powers that matters, was I'm going to go to another universe to do something with my powers that matters. Why didn't he just be a superhero in his universe?
Trauma.
Fair.
I don't know.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah, right. Logan's universe has to be 10005 because he's the anchor who died.
Oh my god. Right. No, yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
I feel like I need a PhD to know what happens in this fucking movie.
Well, but that's that's what I mean. It is unfortunately a little inaccessible to people, and I wish.
Okay, so then.
Wish that wasn't the case.
There are X-Men in 10005, but there aren't Avengers. But Deadpool wants to be an Avenger by going to 616 because the X-Men said no to him. Cool. So
MCU is 616.
Yes.
And 10005 is X-Men's.
No, it's Logan.
Which Logan is not the same universe as X-Men?
Okay, no, because Fox X-Men...
Yeah.
There are 3 Fox X-Men universes, right?
Oh, fuck. Okay.
There is...
You already lost me.
The one that goes and becomes Logan.
Okay.
There is the one that goes and becomes... Sorry, there's 4. There's 4 Fox X-Men universes. There is the one where things become Logan. There's the one from Days of Future Past where things go bad and the Sentinels are winning. There's the one where Wolverine has stopped the Sentinels from winning.
Okay.
And things are good.
Okay.
And then there is the one that this Wolverine is from where he killed a bunch of humans after they killed the X-Men. So there's 4... I feel like I'm talking about Legend of Zelda again. Like, I feel like I'm talking about the, like, split after Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
But so there's 4 X-Men universes. The Logan one is the one that Deadpool is in. Which is 10005.
Which means that Deadpool 1 and 2 took place in 10005.
Yes, which implies...
Yes.
Which is hilarious. It implies that Deadpool and Wolverine takes place post-X-Men?
Yes.
Because this is where things get really wild, okay? This Deadpool is not the same Deadpool as Deadpool 2.
Why? It has to be.
No, he isn't. So in Deadpool 2...
Nobody has to be.
He literally can't be. That Deadpool goes to X-Mansion and sees James McAvoy and Nicholas Hoult as Beast, right?
Okay. Yeah.
He opens the door and he sees them.
Right.
Right? Now, this Deadpool lives in the world where Professor X killed all of the X-Men by accident by having a vibrational... This is a different Deadpool. Wait a second. Okay, so...
Wait a minute, though.
This is a different Deadpool because this Deadpool can't be the same Deadpool who saw Nicholas Hoult in them because this Deadpool lives in the world where Patrick Stewart got old and destroyed the X-Mansion and killed all of the X-Men.
Right.
So this Deadpool says that he was turned down by the X-Men, but which X-Men was he turned down by? All the X-Men were killed by Professor X.
Right.
By...
Unless he took his friends and hopped to a different universe and doesn't say so. But, like, I feel like...
Oh, unless he's not living in his original universe.
For some reason. But he doesn't say that.
But
he
then
says he went back in time.
But wouldn't the TVA be upset? Did he go back in time and stop? No, but he can't have gone back in time and stopped the events of Logan because the events of Logan still happen in order for his anchor being to be dying.
Yeah, no, so he didn't go back and stop the Logan stuff, but he did go back and stop his lover getting shot. Fucking
Frankenbean says wasn't Logan set in the future. Yes, but it is our future, Deadpool's past. Which means that this movie has to take place in like 2085, but this sewer technology has not changed.
The sewer technology?
I mean, like the street. The street looks like 2024, right?
Okay.
But in order for this Deadpool to be living post Logan,
yeah.
That oh my god.
No, you're right.
Wait, what the fuck?
No, you're right. This cannot be the same Deadpool.
I'm losing my mind. Okay, so now we have a new Deadpool. Does that mean that the Deadpool from Deadpool 2 that saved everybody is with Morena Baccarat and happy in another universe? I want to believe that.
It depends. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so confused now. What the fuck? This is going well. This is going really well.
The time travel in 2 caused Logan. Okay, so Deadpool causes... So Logan is now a movie that happens because
of Deadpool 2?
Deadpool 2. Wait. But actually, you know what's fascinating? At the end of this movie, when Daphne Keen shows up as X-23...
Yeah.
That is the X-23 from Deadpool's universe.
Yes.
How does she get to the Void?
She gets booped by the TVA.
But why?
For some reason, because she's a bad girl. I don't know.
Oh, for the same reason they probably wanted Deadpool, right? She's a powerful X-person in that universe as it's dying. So she probably got booped for the same reason that Deadpool got booped.
Oh, like they offered her to go live in a different universe and she said no, and so they booped her?
Yeah, that would actually make sense.
Maybe.
Wow.
No, the X-23...
Cody Patrick, it can't be a different X-23.
No, because she literally talks about Logan. It is that X-23. It is X-23 from 10-0005.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because she talks about it. Because that's not the same Logan. Because the Logan that they pick up from the worst Logan is from... Which one?
They did not give him a number.
Okay, we don't know what number this particular Wolverine is from.
Wow.
Anyways.
All right. Well, okay, so this movie's insane now that I realize that because this is post-Logan... What year does Logan take place in?
Good question. Yeah. Remember how we said that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is convoluted?
So it's 2029.
She didn't get back to 10-0005. She's in the Void.
Wait, what?
X-23 is in the Void. We meet her in the Void.
No, she's back in 10-0005 at the end of the movie at the table next to Wolverine.
Oh, I just assumed that they brought her with them. Not that it was her universe, but
no, but it has to be her universe because she's from Logan, which is that universe. So she gets booped to the Void, but then she comes back to 10-0005, which is her original universe. She went to the Void from 10-0005 because she's the X-23 from Logan because she remembers the events of the movie.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right. Okay, now that we're all on the same page.
All right.
Maria,
the thing is, we're not even talking about the old X-Men movies. We're literally talking about Logan, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool 3.
So this movie takes place in... Steve Zito says it's not post-Logan. It says that Logan dying was destroying the universe backwards. He went forward in time to dig him up.
I don't remember
No, they say that
backwards.
It's going to take thousands of years for the universe to die, and I don't want to wait that long. And so instead of waiting thousands of years for the universe to die, I'm going to destroy it with the Time Ripper. That's the plot of the movie.
Yes.
Oh, so this is the plot of the movie. Basically, Paradox, which is a name of a man at the TVA, which is insane that is a thing, is going to use a Time Ripper to destroy Deadpool's universe because he's been tasked with overseeing its destruction, and he doesn't want to wait thousands of years. And so he doesn't want to work at the TVA. He wants to be the TVA.
Pretty much.
And
he thinks he does it right.
Yeah. So he's going to Time Rip it.
Sure.
And Loki, who's holding on to all those threads, doesn't do anything about that. In fact, what Loki's doing at the TVA not brought up in this movie.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We don't know.
I was looking forward to a joke where like Deadpool would like go talk to him or something, or make fun of him for just like sitting on a chair.
Yeah.
But they probably couldn't get Tom Hiddleston. We're on the same page but in different universes. That's very fair, Frank and Beans.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Paradox doesn't want to wait thousands of years for Deadpool's universe to die post-Logan, and so he decides to build a Time Ripper, which pulls matter and antimatter out of the subway.
Yep.
To rip time apart.
Yep. It just like purges the thread.
I just was like, my big question was, where are those tubes going?
Don't ask. You don't want to know.
Like, I understand. I kind of understand the concept of antimatter, kind of. I'm not really sure how you fill someone with matter. You matter.
There, no, I did
but,
it.
Okay, when we get to the movie, Cassandra Nova, right? She has her hand in two things.
Yeah.
And she's getting stuffed with matter on one side and antimatter on the other side. But, like, matter is just stuff. So she was just being filled with things. The concept of the, like, device was so, like...
Yeah.
Like...
It's magic.
It's the matter and antimatter device. And I'm like, but matter is just, like... Like, was she just being filled with, like...
It's magic.
Like, e-waste? Was it just, like, old GPUs that people don't use anymore?
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
See, when someone gets married, I know, Fabu. Okay, so basically, Deadpool is told that, by Paradox, that the universe is going to die in a few thousand years, but he's going to destroy it faster. And Deadpool's like, I don't want to go be an Avenger in 616, partially because that would cause incursions, according to Doctor Strange.
Don't worry about that.
But don't worry about that. I am, in fact, actually going to just find a different Wolverine.
Yeah.
And the way that we're going to save my universe is by bringing just a different Wolverine into the sequence.
Yeah.
And so this begins a really fun sequence. Like a really fun sequence that gets a lot of cheers of Deadpool going and meeting a bunch of Wolverines.
Yeah.
And not kidnapping them for some reason.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Goldilocks, right? Of the, this one's a little too feisty, or this one is a little too angry.
See, I actually wish they'd done that.
Oh, okay.
I wish that there had been a setup, a different reason for why. So I really like this sequence, right?
Yeah, me too. It was very fun.
I like seeing the suits. It was really fun to see Hugh Jackman in the different suits. The Henry Cavill cameo here was very funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The joke of the obviously the Age of Apocalypse. I was the only person who cheered for that suit. The joke of like our universe will treat you right after how Henry Cavill was treated by Peter. Everything that went on with the Black Adam stuff.
Yeah.
I saw a very funny tweet online that was like the Deadpool and Wolverine Henry Cavill cameo is more consequential than his cameo at the end of Black Adam, which I think is very funny.
Yeah.
We got Runt, we got Patch, which was very fun. I didn't get a good handle on why he left them. So I think that like something like just some justification in that sequence between which trying to find someone who fits the right qualifications would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think he had qualifications.
Justin Kim said, and this one is just right, but the Wolverine he ends up with isn't any more similar to his Logan than any of the other ones that he meets.
No, but doesn't okay, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't that Wolverine just literally pass out right in front of him? Because Deadpool and Wolverine we see in this movie are obviously both like fucking immortal, basically. They can rip each other apart. So Deadpool's like, well, I don't have to waste time with us ripping each other apart because all of the other Wolverines try and fight him, and this Wolverine just passes out from chugging whiskey. Right?
It's true. He does.
So I think he's like, that'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, honestly, that's it.
Yeah. I think that maybe I'm just a little salty because they cut away from the Hulk fight. And I would have liked to have seen a couple of moments of the Hulk fight at least.
Yeah.
That felt like the most consequential of these cameos. They even call out the John Byrne Brown suit. And so I would have enjoyed a little bit of that fight, just a moment.
Yeah.
It was such a like tease.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And I wish we'd just gotten a little bit of it. He might also be the only Wolverine that he encounters who doesn't have anything going on. Like, maybe Deadpool is just being respectful of, like, the fact that everyone else that he encounters...
Really busy schedules, you know?
Well, but they also have...
Their Google Calendar is full.
When he finds them, they all have... Age of Apocalypse, Wolverine doesn't, actually. So I guess that doesn't even hold. But, like, Patch, John Byrne... These are names I have for them, I guess. Henry Cavill's working on a bike. That's a very busy thing for a man to be doing.
Sure.
Maybe that's what it was. I just feel like I would have cut one of the cameos and spent just a second more in each universe to kind of like let the Hulk fight play out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like let these moments breathe a little bit to allow the joke to grow. But it was still very good and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I yelled at the Age of Apocalypse and at the brown suit. I was very excited.
Yeah.
I kind of wish the brown suit had been in more of the movie, to be honest. It's a good suit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, and comic accurate height Wolverine was the most cursed thing I've ever seen.
Nah, that was great. I don't know if that was accurate.
No, he wasn't nearly wide enough.
Oh.
Yeah.
He looked like he was 4'11". Like.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh, I thought he was like 5'4", like my height. Where he's like a short guy, but not like.
Comics Wolverine is tiny, but he's like squat. He's supposed to be like a little Coke can shaped human being.
Oh god.
And instead they made him short but still Dorito shaped. And so I feel like
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it worked for me, but I definitely wish that he'd been like squatter.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, oh, it was purely for laughs.
Yeah.
5'3". Oh,
it was comic
close.
accurate height, but it was not comic accurate belly.
I was close, and I haven't read a goddamn comic book.
Yeah. And so he goes through that sequence. It's really tough from which one is my favorite, but if you had to pick a favorite Wolverine from that sequence, who would it be? Which one stood out to you the most?
I mean, for me personally, like being less aware of the different variations in lore and stuff like that, I think that like Short Wolverine was funny because I know just from being online that people are like, that person's too tall to play Wolverine. And so if you don't really know anything about the other movies or the behind the scenes stuff, like that one is a very easy joke to get if you are in the nerdy space in any capacity. So
yeah, I think the John Byrne Brown would have been my favorite if we'd gotten more of the fight. But because of the Henry Cavill joke, I think I would give it to Henry Cavill.
That's fair. That
one really stood out to me as getting to take a swipe at the DCEU, which obviously doesn't exist anymore, so it's kind of a swipe at nobody.
That's fair.
It's such a safe joke for Henry Cavill to make.
Yeah.
Because it's not like there's a chance they're going to bring him back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The page has been so fully turned that there's no one to be upset about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But good bit.
Yeah.
So he settles on a Wolverine from another universe who has a dark, stormy past. He's an alcoholic, which really isn't that different from most interpretations of Wolverine, to be honest.
I was going to say.
And he, do you want a Danny DeVito-shaped Wolverine? If you cast Danny DeVito as Wolverine, you will make $3 billion, Marvel. Do not be a coward. And give me Danny DeVito as a Wolverine in Secret Wars. I want like an army of Wolverines, and one of them is Danny DeVito.
Oh my god.
That's what they should have done in this movie. They should have had army of Wolverines versus army of Deadpools, and brought Age of Apocalypse back, brought everyone back, but then had them be led by fucking Danny DeVito.
You know, I'm okay.
No, it would have been great. Are you kidding?
It would be...
I started schnickting.
Would go down in history. That's for sure. Yeah.
Rob McElhaney from It's Always Sunny was one of the TV agents killed by Deadpool at the beginning. That's very funny.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we do. So the movie starts. We kind of skipped over it, but the movie starts with Deadpool making a great joke about how we're not going to desecrate Logan's grave.
And then does it immediately.
He's like, you probably are wondering how we're going to do this movie without ruining Wolverine's legacy. We're not. We're going to start with digging up his body, and I'm going to use his metal bones as weapons.
Yeah. That was great. And that's...
The fight scene, that fight scene might be the best fight scene in the movie.
No, I was going to say, I think it might be my favorite. I think the movie started off really strong because of it.
In fact, I think that fight was so strong that it shouldn't have been at the start of the movie. Because some of the fight, we'll get to it. The fight scenes are inconsistent to me.
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with some of the CGI.
Marvel Scubettes, what are your thoughts on the movie CGI? Inconsistent.
Yeah. There were some things that look fucking great. Like, look really, really, really well done. And there were some things where I went, eee.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, yeah. Mixed feelings.
Yeah. Deadpool and Wolverine, so he gets this Wolverine, he takes him back to the TVA.
Yeah.
And the TVA is like, you can't just replace your
Wolverine
anchor being.
Yeah, you can't. Yes, he's an anchor being.
How did you feel about the concept that timelines have a person who, when that person dies, the timeline dies?
As a concept?
Yeah. As a setup for the plot of this movie.
It's not something that I would greenlight, but I thought that it worked okay.
I get it as a meta joke about how without Hugh Jackman, the Fox X-Men universe isn't really anything.
Yeah.
I get it on that level.
Yeah.
I don't understand it as an in-universe thing.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things that, like, only makes sense.
Well, Justin brings up a good point. Unless that person is immortal, there must be timelines dying all over the place.
Well, but that's my point, right? People die.
Yeah.
And most people die after, like, 90 years.
Yeah.
And so hinging the whole plot of the movie on a joke...
Well, it just
felt a little weak to me.
It also just makes it sound like every timeline is slowly dying over thousands of years.
Right, but the Earth is more than 1,000 years old? You know what I mean? So, like, were there no Nexus beings before, like, 2022?
Maybe.
It just kind of leads to that question of, like, centering the entire plot on the back of a joke that is funny, like a meta joke about how, like, can the MCU survive without Steve and Tony, which people are bringing up in the chat, right? It's a good bit, but it is the plot of this movie. It's not like a bit.
It's one of those things where you just can't think about it too hard.
I know, but it is the central pillar of the entire plot of the film.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where I think it might be, that's where it doesn't really work for me, is that if you tell me that the thing that anchors, literally, the plot of the movie is a thing that I shouldn't think about, that's where it, like, for a very funny comedy, that's what dings it down to, like, the 8, right? Is the, like,
Sure. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It does feel very Deadpool, like Richardson was saying in the chat, obviously to center the entire thing on a joke. But yeah, it's not my favorite concept, certainly. It's fine. But yeah, we get they're like Deadpool, they're like, you brought us the worst Wolverine, you fucking idiot. And what exactly happens? Do they just is this a fight for them to leave?
No, so they're at the TVA.
Yeah.
And the guy tricks him.
Oh, this is where they get pruned.
So Paradox, with his broken nose, prunes them, and they get sent to the Void.
Yes.
Which is the place at the end of time where things are slowly getting devoured by Alethion, or whatever the fuck that thing's name is, from season 1, episode 5 of Loki. A concept that I truly, truly never thought would come back.
No.
Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Here we are immediately greeted by the original Captain America shield and the Thor helmet with the big wings from the old TV show.
Yeah.
Which was a really, really charming little moment. I really appreciated them throwing in kind of a reference to the old Marvel TV shows from, like, the 80s and 90s here.
And I'm certain that there were more Easter eggs, like, hidden in those shots. Mm-hmm. You know, we probably didn't catch all of them. I'm sure someone's gonna go frame by frame, but yeah, I love that little stuff because it's doesn't really mean anything for the people who don't know, but it means a lot to the people who do, right?
Yeah, and this is where...
Oh, the 20th Century Fox
logo.
Well,
the pan up from the shield to the 20th Fox logo. That was next.
Yeah.
And this is where I was really interested in the fact that this is where it started to show that the trailer moments had been edited to be misleading.
Because people said that they looked weird.
Well, and the 20th Century Fox logo, in some of the trailers, seems like it's right outside of Cassandra Nova's open Ant-Man head.
Yeah.
But it's actually just the CGI has been changed, which they did obviously for Endgame, they did for Infinity War. They've done this before, but this was the moment where I was like, oh, they really did the effort to like hide where things happen in this movie.
Yes, they did.
From the audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lot of criticisms online for the fight sequences in the Void, and I'll be honest, like I think that it looked definitely different from trailers versus in the movie. Well,
and it's funny because there was particularly some like hatred about how like the movie looked in the trailers.
Yeah.
And it's because the trailer shots are actually not the shots from the movie.
Yeah.
They've edited the background out, and so they're like, wow, this movie looks really bland in the background, and like and when you actually see the movie, you're like, oh, this isn't the same background. Like they've literally been hiding where this fight took place.
Yes.
We immediately get honestly, the better of the two Deadpool Wolverine fights, in my opinion.
Is this one as opposed to the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
There's two like big fights that it's just the two of them.
Yeah.
And I think that of the two, this one is far more interesting to watch than the car one, which I think went on a little too long.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
And the gag of the car scene being that Deadpool gets tied up happening off screen was a little bit disappointing.
Sure, yeah.
I wish that fight had been more about tying Deadpool up and less about cutting between like attacks and then just cutting to him being tied up.
Yeah.
Just to differentiate them a little bit more, because we kind of get this first fight where we get a lot of the blood, we get a lot of them cutting each other up, we get multiple stabs. The fight does end with Wolverine having swords kind of in him and baby knife in him as well.
Yeah.
And this fight ends not particularly because either side loses, but because some cars are showing up, including a floating Fantastic Four car.
Yeah. But first, before the cars show up.
What did you think was going on?
With
Chris Evans.
Yeah, okay.
Did you immediately go, oh, it's Johnny Storm?
No. Because I maybe saw that movie. I don't know.
There's two of them.
I maybe saw some of those movies, on a screen at a hairdresser with no sound on and half paying attention.
Of course.
Yeah, I can recall maybe a handful of visuals from those movies, and that's about it. So I'm not actually sure that I've watched them. So no, I did not know what was happening, especially because we'd just seen the old Captain America shield.
Well, the old Captain America shield made me think it was Cap for a second.
Yeah.
And then he has the wrap on him, and I was like, oh, they're referencing Nomad, which is a character that Cap becomes after he dies.
Cool, yeah.
So I was like, oh, they're doing a Nomad thing, which I thought was clever. And then it took me 2 lines. And then I was like, oh, no, it's not. It was literally just Chris Evans' demeanor, where it took, once he opened his mouth, I was like,
yeah,
oh my God, it's Johnny fucking Storm.
Yeah.
And
I knew from the moment that he spoke it wasn't Captain America.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This, in my opinion, is the best cameo in the movie.
I will agree with that.
I think that it's the most consequential. It kind of wins by getting to be the first surprise one.
And a misdirect at the same time.
And honestly, I think that there was a weird moment where I knew he wasn't going to be in the whole movie, but I was like, damn, Chris Evans' charisma and connection, his screen chemistry with both Hugh and Ryan here was so good that I wanted him to stick around.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? I was definitely oh shit, the 3 of them are actually great together.
Yeah.
Which I was honestly disappointed when he died, not because of any reason other than I was like, damn, the 3 of them are kind of, the circle they're going in together is kind of great.
Oh, agree. Yeah. Yeah. The three of them together was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Definitely my favorite cameo for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Mad Max entourage shows up.
Yeah, we get a lot of members of the original X-Men cast. Obviously, the actor plays Pyro. I should have looked this up. I can't remember his name. But we did get the original actor who played Pyro. We got Liev Schreiber back as Sabretooth for a much shorter fight than I think we all anticipated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we all thought that was... The way they put that in the trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be like a sick fight. Yeah. And then it wasn't Liev Schreiber? Wait, did they not get Liev Schreiber? Taylor Dane? I thought that was Liev Schreiber and just a lot of hair, and so I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I just thought that they made him up to look different.
I don't think it was Taylor Dane.
Taylor Dane? That is a pop star.
Oh, it's Taylor Maine.
Taylor Maine.
Okay, that's my bad.
Oh, okay.
It's the actual original one from X-Men. It's so funny. I really thought that was
just thought it was a different makeup job. Yeah.
Yeah. That's on me.
Damn.
It was so much hair that I didn't know.
Yeah.
See, guys, this is why we do these, so that I can learn. I'm not an expert.
It's also fun to hang out.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this little moment, because I've always thought that I am of the opinion that Sabretooth Wolverine is only a rivalry until the moment where Wolverine gets the adamantium. And then once Wolverine has the adamantium, there is no comparison.
Yeah, what the fuck's he gonna do?
Aaron Stanford is Pyro. Yeah. Which was fun. I love that we got a betrayal from that character again. Very similar. He kind of had the same arc that he has in X2.
Sure.
We get the original actor who played Toad here as well. In the car. Yeah.
So many things that I was like, oh, I know that some nerds are eating this shit up. And I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Nathan Fillion was in this.
Yeah, apparently, I have an article up here with all the cameos. Nathan Fillion played Headpool.
Oh.
Which is the bony head.
Yeah. Sure.
Matthew McConaughey was Cowboy Pool.
He was?
Apparently.
We didn't even see his face.
And Blake Lively was in the Lady Pool suit.
I fucking called it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
That's wild.
Knew it. Love it. Did you guys catch the X-23 now has adamantium claws?
Oh, I didn't catch that, no.
Yeah, I thought I noticed that, and I just was like,
we forgot to mention the Fever Dream Wolverine, where he's on the fucking X.
Oh my god. There were so many fucking cameos in this movie.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Oh, Kidpool was their daughter? I did not know that. That is very cute.
Aww.
Yeah, I love that.
Ryan Reynolds trying to get her a fucking, what do they call it? The,
an equity credit? No, an actor credit?
No, when you pay the actors in California, they get like a trust fund.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I was disappointed we didn't get the face reveal with Lady Deadpool as well, because I was like, oh, I guess she, like, wasn't anybody? Which is fine, but, it's cute. It's cute as shit.
The Russian from, the first Punisher movies in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love that this article has, like, all the cameos, and one of them is Pepper Potts' Forbes cover.
Oh, she's in a magazine in the office. Yeah. Oh, I thought I recognized the ship crash.
So they get taken because they have a giant magnet.
Yeah.
Which is how they capture Wolverine, obviously, because he's just metal.
Yeah.
And they take them to Ant-Man's body that Cassandra Nova lives inside, which is just such a it's such a good visual.
Yeah.
It's like obviously it's spoiled in the trailers a little bit, but like when the hands are opening and the blob is opening the hands and like you actually see it is such a surprisingly good visual that
it worked.
This might have been my favorite like setting in the movie. Locations wise, the movie's kind of fine, right? There isn't a lot of like super interesting things going on with like the locations. So it was nice to have this one kind of really stand out.
Yeah. No, I thought it was fun. I love the idea of it. The joke was great. Paul Rudd finally aged. Like that, you know.
Nick says they take them to Ant-Man's head. No, it's his whole body.
Like,
there is the pan shot where you see like his spine is like all his body is there the whole way down, and his hands are the gate.
Well, I think like his legs are missing. Like I think that they're aren't they like buried or like they
Something
like
like
goes
that,
into the ground. Yeah.
But there is like his upper back down to like his hips at least. I just think I think that it was such an inspired visual choice. I think the joke about it being Paul Rudd finally aging is very funny.
Yeah, I really liked Cassandra Nova. I think that the actor did a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
The character is fun, and you know we kind of talked about you were happy they didn't try and make it like complicated. Like she's just kind of evil, right? She's the evil twin.
Interesting. In Old Man Logan, another one of the variants that's referenced in this, there's a dead giant man. So this is actually a reference to the comic, which is interesting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Emma Corrin, who plays Cassandra Nova, is non-binary. And
cool,
I thought really brought it as a villain. I feel like they were a sort of thin villain. Their motivations were be evil.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Their plot to destroy all the universes so that they can continue to be the leader of the Void was fine.
Sure. But I thought they did a great job playing.
But yeah, the performance was what made it.
Yeah, definitely.
The motivations weren't there, so they kind of just made it up on their own, and I thought that they crushed that.
Yes. 100%.
And I think that gets to my feelings about the whole movie and why this movie isn't a 10 out of 10 for me, is that I do think the jokes are great. I do think the setting are great. I think a lot of the fights are very good. I think the cameos are fun.
One joke that is not great.
And the we'll get to that when we get to that. Yeah. But the story and like the motivations are what's light for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which here's the thing. I think that weirdly enough, if I hadn't watched the final trailer, I wouldn't have set those expectations on the movie in the way that I did. But the third trailer for this movie felt really emotional and like deep, and I went into the movie really excited because I thought we were going to get the best of both worlds in that way, where it was going to be hard-hitting and emotional and story-driven while also being Deadpool and funny, silly with cameo stuff. And I think that it under-delivered on the writing and the emotional arc of the movie.
Well, and we'll get to the Wolverine reveal, but the Wolverine reveal is part of why that is for me.
Yeah.
But we are still here. Nick says, I had to step away from the theater during the scene. How did Deadpool and Wolverine escape from the first time? So basically they get there, and we see a bunch of X-Men cameos in the back of the scene. It's very fun. And we see Nightcrawler's daddy. And, well, I guess that's not true anymore, because now Mystique is Nightcrawler's father in the comics.
Right, yeah.
So Deadpool outs all of what Chris Evans as Johnny Storm had said on the drive there. And so Cassandra Nova just rips his skin off and he dies. And Wolverine's very upset because you got that man killed. Which leads to a great little end credit scene.
Oh, yes. Where we find out... like in the moment in the movie, we're like, we didn't hear it. Did he say that? Like, that's not. That's just Wolverine. But no,
But apparently there's a camera in the cart.
that was very funny. That was very funny.
I would pay money to watch Chris Evans curse more. It's very funny every time it happens.
Yes.
And so Chris Evans gets his flesh ripped off, and Alioth is there to consume Wolverine, who Cassandra Nova manages to just like shove underground and then like push through the earth in a very cool sequence where the only thing up is the claws.
Yeah.
That visual I thought was great. Yeah. A lot of my favorite CGI in the movie is Cassandra Nova's effects. The fingers and the face worked really well for me. Her flinging Wolverine around in this sequence worked really well for me.
Yeah.
But as Alioth is coming to kill them, Deadpool and Wolverine need to escape. And so what do? They hop on a Sentinel foot and they fly away. Because what saves mutants? Not Sentinels when they're one piece, but when they're in many pieces.
Useful tools. Yeah.
This leads to them going to a diner. They hear about the Outlands where they need to, or the Borderlands, which is a movie coming in a week, starring Cate Blanchett and Kevin Hart.
The 9th, I think, August 9th.
Oh, I thought it was the 3rd. I thought it was Friday. Maybe not. No, because Friday is because the Friday isn't the 3rd. That doesn't make any sense. So they need to get to the Borderlands to meet the people. I can't remember what they call them. The cameos. They need to go meet the cameos.
The cameos, yeah.
So they go to a diner, and we find out that Wolverine is such an alcoholic now because mysterious past thing that happened.
Yeah, delicious rubbing alcohol.
And we go meet Nice Pool in a field of corn that somehow has a Honda Odyssey in it.
And a dog that
Very
looks
cute
like
dog.
it should be in the grave.
Well, it did win Ugliest Dog.
That makes sense.
So I think they found the dog because it won an Ugliest Dog competition.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And they go and they meet Nice Pool, who is just Ryan Reynolds from Free Guy.
Oh yeah, with long hair.
It's the same character.
Yeah.
And they get in the Honda Odyssey, drive into the woods, and then they destroy a Honda Odyssey while inside of it, which is honestly, it's a good moment. I think it's a good fight sequence. It just goes on a little too long, and would have been tightened up by framing it with Wolverine tying him up in the fight instead of it all happening off screen.
Yeah.
We've already talked about it, but...
Yeah. It was fun, and honestly, the concept, the idea of it was very funny. The, euphemism of the being all in the car is funny, but I do agree. It went on a little bit too long.
As anyone who knows the show Dungeons and Daddies knows, the Honda-C, made by Honda, is an incredible vehicle that will continue to drive long after Deadpool and Wolverine have fought inside of it, as long as you whisper sweet Japanese nothings into its muffler. And so, in the middle of the night, while they sleep off their fight, someone shows up.
Yeah,
and drives them.
Steals them.
To
a cave.
The Borderlands, which is just a silo. I don't know.
It's where Elektra lives. This is the one cameo I was so proud that I recognized.
Because you know who Jennifer Garner is.
I do.
This is also the first... Yeah. This was the first time that I was like, oh, you kind of need to, know what happened to these people in real life to get some of these jokes.
Yes.
Because there's a joke in this movie where he's like, oh, I'm sorry Daredevil didn't make it. And Jennifer Garner, not Elektra, Jennifer Garner goes, oh, no, it's okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
And it's... it is a joke about the fact that Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck were dating when they made that movie and had a very public and famous breakup after that movie.
Yeah.
But the joke isn't about Elektra and Deadpool or Daredevil.
Yeah.
The joke is about Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird, and this happens almost immediately again.
Yeah.
Where Blade comes in, and the joke is about the fact that Ryan Reynolds, while not playing Deadpool, playing a different character, and Wesley Snipes, I think they did get married, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Did he break up with her to be with J-Lo? It's something like that.
I don't follow this shit.
Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds famously did not get along on the set of Blade Trinity. And so there's a joke in this movie where you're like, if you don't know that, what does this line doesn't mean anything to these characters. And this is the only reason why I bring this up. Deadpool making that joke is funny.
Yeah.
Because Deadpool breaks the fourth wall.
Yes.
Elektra doesn't. Deadpool knows that Ryan Reynolds is playing Deadpool.
Uh-huh.
And that Ryan Reynolds exists in our universe, right? Uh-huh. But Elektra doesn't know that she's Jennifer Garner. And this is where the movie started to, break my brain a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I was just kind of like, are we starting to say that every character in these movies can break the fourth wall? Because once you do that, I think that Deadpool unravels and doesn't work anymore. I think the downstream effect of everyone can break the fourth wall in a Deadpool movie is that Deadpool no longer can be in any of the other things.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. To me, that's such a, that's such a I wouldn't even think about it thing, but I get it.
Yeah. We get Blade. We get Wesley Snipes comes in. I didn't believe it was Wesley Snipes at first, because the last time I saw Wesley Snipes was on Hitman, a TV show for CBS, I want to say, and he was a little bit heavier, he did not look in as good a shape as he looks in this movie, and I was like, how old is Wesley Snipes? Because he looks so good. And look, regardless of the joke, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes, for his age, looks fucking incredible in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what his, like, training regimen was. I don't know what he's eating. But you know what? Let's just pull it up. I want to know.
He's 61.
That dude is 60 fucking 1. Okay? Look, Wesley Snipes. What are you... Your body is a temple, man. How you look better than I do at 32, and I'm working out every day. Like,
Please share the routine.
I genuinely was like, my first thought when I saw Blade was, Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes hate each other. There's no way it's him. And then I was like, wait, maybe that's him. And then I was like, wait, but he's too old to look that good.
Yeah.
His body looks like he's 30.
They CGI'd him into the movie, so they didn't have to be on
No,
set.
I don't think that. I think Wesley Snipes just looks like a fucking monster of a man.
Yeah.
And like, good for you, dude.
Yeah.
God damn. This is like when you're like, Jennifer Aniston is the age now that the Golden Girls were at the beginning of Golden Girls. You know what I mean? Where you're like, the technology behind how we work out now and our understanding about food and all of these things has led to us aging in a completely different way.
And also skincare.
Because, like, even, like, 30 years ago, there's no 6-year-old person who looks that good, right?
Right.
But nowadays, like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
He looks great. Anyway, he makes the worst joke in the movie.
The things money can do. Yeah, it's a bad joke. It doesn't land.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. I think that you can make jokes with slurs. I don't feel like I'm a fairly prudish person. But this one just didn't seem like a joke.
It's just because the joke is that he mishears another word.
Yeah.
And it just didn't.
That's not funny.
It wasn't a funny joke. It's the only joke like it in the movie.
Yeah.
Though joke coming from Wesley Snipes in particular feels weird.
Why?
Well, he's just... He's got... You can Google him yourself if you want to know things about Wesley Snipes.
Sure.
Yeah, it really, like, was a... hitting the brakes on a scene that I actually thought was working really well.
Yeah, it killed the momentum of that scene for me. It, like, really, it took me out of the movie. It was, like, jarring. Like, I was like, whoa, I'm sorry, what? Like, it, yeah. Not only was it just not, like, funny, I think that it detracted from my experience of the movie.
Yeah.
In a totally unnecessary way. I don't get why it was there. It
felt like the movie being like, see, we can do whatever we want. And I was like, yeah. But can you? Because I just don't think they pulled it off.
No,
It doesn't ruin the whole movie for me?
No.
You know?
No, it just felt like it's like, oh, we should make sure we say something that people can get upset about on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just tired of that fucking rage bait cringe stuff. It's like, whatever. But the last cameo in that scene...
Guys. Especially after X-Men 97. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I lost my shit for Gambit. I lost my ever-loving shit for that boy.
I thought I was hard of hearing.
I don't think the accent convinced me that Channing Tatum should have got a full movie.
Yeah.
But after being on the ground at Comic-Cons for years, searching for any morsel of information about a Channing Tatum Gambit movie, I was thrilled. I was so happy. I yelped in a way that, like, the movie theater was not prepared for the yelp, because I yelped before people could clue into what was going on. And
you were 3 seconds ahead.
Oh my God. First of all, I'm a big Channing Tatum fan. I think that he is an incredible performer.
Yeah.
I think his dedication to dance and acting and no matter what he does, he goes all the way.
He is incredibly talented and hardworking. 1,000%.
Yeah, and so I'm a big fan of him. I love Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that Gambit movie so much. And you know what? I feel like I got enough of
that was enough.
Gambit.
You know what? That was enough for me. Just the right amount.
I also realized how hard it is to make the kinetic cards look cool in live action.
I think they did a pretty good job, but I honestly think that the costume was not great.
I think that they learned the lesson of, if we're going to do it, cut the headpiece. I liked the purple. I actually liked the chest piece.
Purple was nice, yeah.
But cut the neck and head part of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I, like, my Jean Grey cosplay has this piece separate.
Yeah.
Because this is just cool for drawings, but not for real life.
Yeah, but he's very funny. Obviously, for those of you who didn't understand what was going on, for years, Channing Tatum was trying to get a Gambit movie made. There was a point 6 years ago, I want to say. I might be wrong about that. But there was a point
2018?
where sets had... Yeah. I think he started in, like, 2012.
Damn.
Like, this was, like, a decade-long process.
Okay.
There was a point where they had sets built near New Orleans to film this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't like a pipe dream that an actor had that just never happened. This is like a production that was greenlit enough to the point where money was spent. And it was always a shame that it never happened. And I just was so thrilled that I got to see this. I think he's too old to play the part now. Like, I don't actually think that, like, moving forward he would be a good choice anymore. I would much rather see someone younger take on the part. But I'm no matter what I think about Deadpool and Wolverine, and obviously I have some criticisms. Obviously there's a bunch of stuff I love. I'm so grateful it gave me this, because it kind of closed a book on, like, a decade of my life wishing to see a thing that I never got to see.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of closure, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, it gave me closure on something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I watched that and I was like, all right, we dodged a bullet there.
But I think that
as much as I love Channing Tatum.
I think that if they had done a full movie, the accent would have been better. Like, obviously, I think it was intentionally funny here.
Yes, the accent was clearly a joke.
And I think part of the reason why it was clearly a joke is that if you don't understand anything about Channing Tatum as Gambit, then the only joke is that the accent is bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for an audience of people who didn't follow Comic-Con news for a decade, Channing Tatum showing up and doing a flawless Cajun accent isn't funny. It's just that Channing Tatum showed up as Gambit. People who don't follow X-Men comics and only watch the movies don't even know who Gambit is. He's not in any of the X-Men movies, right?
But he's in 97 at least.
Yeah, but how many people watch animated shows? Of the people who go to Deadpool and Wolverine who are not already familiar with him from the comic books, how many people know who Gambit is or care, right? And so if Channing Tatum, for those people, shows up and is just doing a Cajun accent and throwing purple cards around, it might be that he was like, this has to be funny.
Yeah.
He's in a movie? Which movie is Gambit in?
says Origins?
Guys, I am not going to lie. I've seen Origins one time.
And you were like, never again.
Is he in Wolverine Origins? No way. I've deliberately blocked out that movie as much as possible.
Yeah. Where he also had a horrible Cajun accent. Oh boy, that's rough. Poor Gambit. Just getting absolutely brutalized. Oh
my god, he is, and he looks like a vampire. That's right, I do remember that fucker. Oh my god, I blocked this movie out completely.
Wait.
I don't know who this girl is.
Is X-Men Origins Wolverine the one where they literally fill him with the adamantium?
I believe that happens in that and in X2.
Okay, so maybe I've seen X2. The X-Men movies are weird because I have seen some of them.
Oh my god, Daniel Henney is in this movie.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no way.
I love Donna McMonahan, Taylor Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch is Gambit. That's right.
I kind of want to watch this movie now.
Oh, no, you don't. It's so bad.
Should we, like, get high and watch it?
I would watch it high.
We should react to it.
I would watch it high. It's so bad.
We should react to it.
It's so bad. Although, and this is going to piss people off, I think the concept of the final fight is really cool.
Okay.
I think the concept of Wolverine fighting Blades Man Deadpool on top of the edge of the nuclear reactor.
Oh, I have seen that.
Is
okay, I've seen this
so
movie.
It's such a cool concept for a fight. That if they had just made it Nightcrawler so that you could have had the booping without it having to be I think
this movie was my introduction to the X-Men.
That's so sad. It's such a bad movie. It really is like, oh god, it's hard to watch. So hard that I have blocked it out of my mind.
Oh, I actually feel like I remember it because that's when him and his brother like have the fight at the beginning outside the bar, right? Yeah. And then they have the flashback where they're in the army together.
Yeah,
that is this movie.
Oh,
I've seen this movie.
Hey, to be fair to X-Men Origins Wolverine, the war flashback is sick.
Yeah, we'll agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Great sequence.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was my first ever X-Men movie.
That is so sad to me in so many ways.
I know, I'm sorry.
So anyway, we're in the bunker. The final cameo was put in the trailers. Daphne Keen shows up as X-23.
Yeah.
Do you know why they put it in the trailer?
No.
Daphne Keen wanted to go to the premiere.
Aww.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they spoiled that she was in the movie because she told Kevin Feige that she wanted to go to the premiere.
That's really sweet, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they literally like put it in the trailer so that she didn't need to like go to the premiere and hide that she was in the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. I agree. It was so when I found that out I was like that's actually really sweet. To do that for like a young actress who's like honestly like is on the rise, and going to the premiere is actually like good for her career.
Big deal.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think she's delightful. I wish her all the successes in the world.
Well, and she just had Jackie in
Star Wars, and she was
Star's Acolyte.
Beloved as that character.
A little underused in my opinion, but
no, I
thought
agree.
She was great.
Yeah,
the action sequences that she did in episode 5 were incredible.
So fucking good.
No, I'm a big Daphne Keen fan, and I'm hopeful that that we get to see more of her in other things moving forward. She's great.
She is going to be that generation's female leading action movie star. You know what I mean? With the combat training that she has, I think it's incredible. She's great. Did you see his Dark Materials? No.
Is she in that?
Didn't actually watch that. I saw the Golden Compass movie, but I didn't actually watch the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's great.
I really like his Dark Materials books, and she's Lyra in it. Oh wow! The only thing I know about that show, honestly, is that Lin-Manuel Miranda's in it. That's the only thing I know. Yeah. I really was turned off by the Golden Compass movie, and I like those books, and so I was like, you know what, I'm good. I like the books. I will stick with the books. I never gave the show a try.
I did not try the show either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she shows up, and there's a long sequence of jokes. It's really just a sequence of jokes where Deadpool's trying to convince them that they're gonna.
This movie is just a sequence of jokes.
And this is where like the movie again, great jokes, not a great plot. Deadpool makes jokes about how they need to go fight Cassandra together.
Yep.
And so the plan is, in the earlier sequence, they introduced that there is another new Juggernaut, which is a joke on the fact that Juggernaut's always a different person in the movies.
Yeah.
So their plan is to go get the helmet and then put it on Cassandra Nova, in the hopes that Cassandra Nova doesn't just stop them before they get inside.
Yep.
Which she doesn't, thankfully, for the plot of the movie. But, like, there's no setup. They don't sneak in, despite the fact that they are not superpowered people. Like, Elektra kind of has superpowers.
Does she?
Blade has superpowers. Gambit has, I guess Gambit has superpowers. They all have superpowers, but, like, they're not exactly, like, a brute force team.
They're not Omega level mutants.
No. And I would say that, like, Elektra's a ninja.
Yeah.
Like, the skill set of these characters is to sneak in and do shit.
Yeah.
Even Gambit's kind of a squirrely motherfucker.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so, but their plan is to drive a Honda Odyssey at the doors with a bazooka and hope that Cassandra doesn't do anything about it.
Yep, pretty much.
And it works. But I was just kind of like, you guys are all mercenaries with, like, undercover special ops experience. Why doesn't the plan play? Like,
No
even
sneaking.
Wade is a special ops guy.
Nope, no sneaking. Fabu, I wish you all the best. Good luck with that.
Oh, interesting.
That'll be fun. Yeah, it was, they didn't care to fuck around at all. They just headed straight in to have a sick fight sequence, which Wolverine does show up for. There's a moment.
Yeah.
Obviously with Daphne Keen and Hugh Jackman, that's incredible. At the fire, you know, where she says, "You're never the right guy." You know, that it's cute. It's wonderful. And so he is there for the fight. Gets out of the Honda Odyssey, and they fuck shit up. There's a fun fight sequence that isn't my favorite, but I think has some really cool moments in it.
This is where I got frustrated.
Okay.
This was the most I got frustrated with the movie, because you're telling me that I waited all this time to watch Gambit in a fight sequence with Channing Tatum doing his thing, and the cinematography was fuck. Oh, it's action! Oh, we're getting the action! I was like, I can't even fucking... There are parts of that fight scene where I was like, I can't even tell who's on screen right now.
Yeah.
Let alone, like, what's happening. And what sucks for me is that I felt like the fight sequences before that are all so clean and so clear, right? Like, say what you want about the shot of the fucking sword clipping through Deadpool that everyone's freaking out about, which in the movie looked cool. Sorry. I don't know why people are upset about it.
It's like okay.
It doesn't matter.
It's like stage combat. You cheat.
Yeah.
You're not actually. Yeah.
I was hoping that this fight would give really good moments to these characters that were in that clear visual style, and instead we kind of got shaky cam.
It was messy, unfortunately. I especially in contrast to the other fights and stuff in the movie. So, yeah, it was fine.
Levi brings up an interesting point. The cinematography was asked, Justin says, I feel like they did the shake cam at least in part to cover for Snipes' age, maybe the other character's lack of training. I think that Snipes, you're wrong about, because Wesley Snipes is a professional martial artist. So if anyone in that cast probably didn't need training, it would have been him. But for Channing Tatum, like Jennifer Garner and Channing Tatum aren't going to do weeks of stunt work to get ready for this. You know what I mean?
Probably, yeah.
And so it's not like that it doesn't make sense. He's also 61. Yeah, but look at his body. His body is better than mine in this movie. But not even close. By a lot. If I work out until I'm 61, I hope to look that good. I hope to get there in 30 years.
Yeah, Levi, I get you. The cinematography definitely...
it was a letdown in this scene in particular.
Yeah, inconsistent, unfortunately.
But so Deadpool and Wolverine, so they go inside and start chatting with Cassandra Nova before they have the helmet, in the hopes that Daphne Keen will
that helmet.
Cut off Juggernaut's head
and get them that helmet somehow. Yeah.
And it does work out. I did love the shot of Juggernaut with his ankles fucking cut off, like him ripping out of his own ankles was something.
Yeah, that was horrific. For sure. Yeah, I mean, luckily, Laura does do some head chopping, toss the helm. They get it in there. They get it on Cassandra Nova's head. And then a random guy from her team who's also working from the TVA comes
Pyro.
in, and that one comes in and shoots her because Paradox told him to get rid of Cassandra Nova. And so then...
And apparently her healing powers...
are dependent on her brain waves.
Being able to connect with other things, but not herself.
Yeah, I'm assuming that... I don't know much about Cassandra Nova, or even really Xavier. I am just assuming the metal stops brain waves.
To be honest, I don't know.
I don't know either.
See, when they were... So I was confused about this whole thing, because I thought when they got... The plan was for them to get the helmet and then put the helmet on Wolverine.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
So when they put the helmet on her...
Yeah.
Like, Magneto wearing his helmet stops Charles from getting in, but it doesn't stop Jean Grey from, like, throwing him with her powers. Mm-hmm. So I understand that it stops, telekinetic abilities, or no, it stops telepathic abilities, but not telekinetic abilities, which she definitely has.
Yep.
And so I found this a little wishy-washy.
Yeah.
In terms of like how this made sense. But it was fine enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone who's like
the
I
helmet
know
doesn't
nothing
stop
about...
Juggernaut's ability to be Juggernaut while he's wearing it. It affects other people being able to affect him. But it doesn't stop his abilities from happening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. It's
yeah,
fine.
I don't know.
It's
it was
fine.
It was fine. Also Juggernaut's helmet doesn't make him dumb.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, like her brain still. I don't know. I didn't really understand what her power was, because she says Charles can affect people just by looking at them, but I need to get my hands dirty.
Which is
implying
weird because
that it isn't just telepathic, that there is a physical element to it.
Well, it is weird because she does rip Chris Evans' skin off without touching him.
No, but the brain ability she can do with her hands.
So she just has to do this.
But I don't know. It was slightly inconsistent in a way that when I remember in the movie sitting there and being like, oh, they put it on her. Oh, why?
Yeah.
And it's fine. It works, but it was like there was an extra layer on it for me.
Yeah.
In the movie that I was like, I don't really understand how this works, but it's fine. It's funny.
Yeah. I was like, all right, it's what the movie says.
At this point, we've gotten into Wolverine a little bit. We kind of know this Wolverine's backstory. How did you feel about his backstory being the setup for his character?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, this movie, I lacked the heart that I thought it would have based on the third trailer. Honestly.
I think that...
It was fine. It was like, I was like a little bit sad, but like I didn't even get close to teary, you know, like...
I think that I figured out how I would have saved that part of the movie for me. And so Wolverine in this movie, his past is that he left the team because he didn't want to be a team player, and everyone got killed, so he came back, found their bodies, and then he started murdering humans over it, right? And I think that what would have made it work for me is if he left because Jean Grey chose Scott, right?
Yeah.
And he couldn't be there anymore, because then at the end of the movie, when Deadpool is sitting next to Marina Baccarin, and he says, I'll be here for you even if you don't want me, it would be a direct callback to the reason why Logan walked away and failed hit the people that he loved in Logan's backstory. Now, granted, Deadpool actually never learns Wolverine's backstory in this movie. He says it to Daphne Keen. So Deadpool has... You would also have to write in that Deadpool would have to get this information from him somehow, because he doesn't. But him just not being there when the X-Men died was fine, but like if Jean Grey got killed... What the fuck were you gonna do, bud? Like, if all the Omega level mutants at X-Mansion got killed...
I don't think Logan had much of a shot.
Yeah. The movie kind of treats Wolverine as if he's, like, the strongest X-Man, and that is not the case.
Or if, like, the mutants weren't killed by humans, which he basically says that they are, but maybe Jean Grey went Phoenix and Logan wasn't there to help, like, talk her down or something like that.
Well, because that could have been a reference to X3, when Logan is actually the one that kills Jean Grey and stops the Phoenix from, taking over.
Yeah, which I just
movie that...
Don't worry about it.
Better than X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Don't worry about it.
Worse? I don't know.
You know what? Fight about it in chat. I don't know. But yeah, I just think that the emotional backstory for Wolverine in this version was a little lacking. I think they could have made it hit harder. If they had been more specific, I think, to the lore of one of the timelines. But it was just kind of like, yeah, everybody died, and so I just started killing people. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that's sad.
It was sad. I wish that it had tied into the themes of the movie better. But because he never...
It felt separate. It felt separate from Deadpool.
Yes. And because it's Deadpool and Wolverine, for the emotional payoff of the movie for one character to in no way connect to the other...
Yeah.
...was an odd choice to me. I've never seen a buddy cop movie where the emotional backstory of one of the buddy cops is never actually revealed to the other.
Right?
Where it happens, and I get it, it's Deadpool, so he knows what happens off screen because he's a fourth wall breaking kind of thing. But I don't know. I just feel like it would have been stronger if his backstory had somehow changed Wade. But because he says it to Daphne Keen, who's X-23, has a sadder story than him. You know what I mean? It just doesn't, it didn't
She's
pay
like,
off
wow,
in
that's
any way.
rough, buddy.
Yeah.
Like,
it didn't pay off in the movie in any way.
yeah, I agree.
Other than him choosing to be there at the end, obviously. He gets up to walks away, and then he walks back, and he's at the party at the end.
It could have been more thematically relevant to this particular movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, that happens. Cassandra gets shot, and then they take the helmet off of her to save her, and she's like, wow, that was really nice of you. I guess I'll send you home.
Well, and I like the beat of... this is the payoff moment, though. This is the one payoff moment we do get.
Yeah.
Is Wolverine goes, Charles wouldn't want you to die.
Yeah, Charles would have ripped the world apart to get you back from here. You know what I mean?
If you don't know who Cassandra Nova is, in the comics, in the movie, she says, I tried to strangle Charles in the womb. That isn't like a joke or like a bit. That is the comics origin of this character, is that she is so generically evil that she tried to murder her twin in the womb.
Uh-huh.
Crazy that they kept that. Awesome that they did. But Charles Xavier would try and save her, right?
Yeah.
Wolverine is right in that moment, and it's beautiful. It is maybe my favorite moment in the movie.
Yeah.
Is that, like, no, Charles wouldn't want this. And she's like, you knew him, and yeah, he loved me. And she's like, well, the thing is, a Doctor Strange came through recently.
With 2 Infinity Stones that I now somehow possess.
Infinity Stones?
On the sling ring.
I didn't catch that those were Infinity Stones.
I just assumed, because those are the only rocks in the Marvel Universe that I know are important.
Oh my god. I thought she just had a sling ring.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But there were rocks on it. Like, it was like, goated up.
It was like fucking glitzy.
Had the reality and the time stone in it. Okay.
I did not catch the Infinity Stones in that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess don't know what that means.
I guess it makes sense because I don't think a sling ring on its own would be enough to get... Oh, do Infinity Stones work in the Void because they don't work at the TVA? That is such a funny point.
Oh, interesting.
Wait, but no, they would, because the Void is the end of time, not outside of time. Right? So the Infinity Stones would work there because they're not in... Lemon Squeezy, they only work in their own universe.
But the sling ring
So those
still
must
works.
be the Infinity Stones of the universe that becomes the Void at the end of time.
No, or Doctor Strange had them and died. And, got sent there. Yeah.
Right, but so Infinity Stones don't work in other universes?
Yeah, so she didn't use them. She just used the sling
ring.
ring.
But I think that she would have had to have used them for the sling ring to open a gate between universes. I don't think the sling ring on its own can do that.
Oh.
So they must be the Infinity Stones from the universe that becomes the Void. Again, this movie doesn't really make sense with Loki.
Infinity Ultron used his all over the place.
Oh, in What If. Right. No. Yeah.
But in Loki, there's Infinity Stones that...
don't work because they're in the... They keep them in the drawer because they're useless.
So they just don't work in the TVA, but they work everywhere else.
I don't know.
Okay, sure, yeah. They don't work in the TVA, but they work
I don't know, man.
I also just thought that the Void was, part of the TVA, but that was on me. That was an assumption I made. I'm not sure.
Marvel Studios has officially become as fun to talk about as Marvel Comics because there really are so many things where I'm like, guys,
I don't
know.
Yeah.
So then she sends them. They go through. They go through the portal back to their universe. in time to stop Paradox and his machine, his Time Ripper. And then Cassandra Nova is like, I'm gonna fucking rip all the answers out of you, Pyro. And he's like, I will just you can just ask. Sometimes just ask people. You don't have to rip every answer out of people. Sometimes they'll just tell you shit. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And so he reveals that Paradox and him are working together, and Paradox sent him to kill her.
Yeah, and she's like pissy about that because they had an agreement,
For good reason.
It's kind of rude. So she goes back to not the Void. She follows Wolverine and Deadpool, shows up, and is like, I'm gonna use Paradox's Time Ripper to just destroy everything because fuck you.
This is also the best use of her abilities. There's a scene where she's dragging Paradox into the subway, and his body.
Yeah,
the visual
was fucked up
of her holding him there was seamless. Mm-hmm. So well done.
Yeah.
And she's like, I need an army to protect me while I do this, and so she brings in all the Deadpools. Nice Pool is there with his golden guns. So he gets killed immediately.
It's great.
By Deadpool using him as a human shield so that he can have the guns. And then the fight scene is fine. They fight a bunch of Deadpools. And
okay. I will say, the singular shot.
Yes.
The choreography of that, that must have taken fucking forever. I want to just say, big shout out and props to that singular shot along the street where they're running this way and all the pools are running this way. And, if you've ever been on movie sets, that was probably a pain in the fucking ass to do, but it worked. It worked really well.
I think the oneer is great.
Yeah.
I think that what lets me down a little bit about the sequence is that I didn't feel like I got much variety from the different Deadpools.
Fair. That's fair, yeah.
I kind of wish that Cowboy Pool had been something a little bit more cowboyish. Sure. I just wish that the Deadpools had some variety.
Okay, I think that's valid.
That's kind of the thing that I got out of that sequence, is that the idea is that they're all these different Deadpools, but then they all kind of fought the same way.
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing that I took away from it, was I wish that the oneer was amazing, and I'm really glad they did that. Yeah. But when we think about oneers in the last 2 years of comic book movies, the most impressive oneer is the hallway from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Mm-hmm. Because all of those people have a different fight style, and the oneer managed to highlight all of the different abilities of all the different characters in that sequence in a way where this is they're just charging through what basically were henchmen, not Deadpools.
Well, because they were all of themselves. They're all the same person. A lot of them are just literally carbon copies of themselves, I think.
Yeah.
If I understand.
No, and it's 100% fair.
Yeah.
I think that what would have taken that over the top would have been
variety.
A little bit more variety in the combat styles, so that we could have seen some fun things. Whereas I feel like it almost was more impressive at the beginning, and it got less impressive as it went because nothing was changing.
Yeah, I mean, doing it around the bus, I thought was pretty cool.
The sequence in the bus was great, and I like ending running out of the bus, and then everything comes back to life behind them, and oh fuck,
Yeah. No, it was fun.
Yeah.
I loved that a lot. Do you think any of the Deadpools were fans that made costumes? No. Not for the amount of, hand-to-hand combat. Huh?
Peter definitely made his own Deadpool costume.
Okay, Peter, yes. But no, I'm assuming that you are thinking, how in Star Wars has the 51st sometimes...
Oh, no, these were
stunt people who do stage combat professionally, very clearly. There is
you
no way...
wouldn't bring some random person on that set.
No, especially not for a oneer shot. Yeah. Never.
They're so expensive to do.
Not ever.
And the weeks of choreography to build that set and to build that out, you would have need people who have some sort of stunt capacity. Blake Lively is in the suit apparently for the walk, but I do not believe that Blake Lively did the combat section.
Yeah, she doesn't really do combat stuff. Yeah.
And even the Mandos in The Mandalorian, the 501st are just standing in those.
Well, I didn't even mean the Mandalorians. I meant the troopers in season 1 at the end.
No, that's what I mean. They're just standing in those suits.
Sorry, you said the Mandalorians.
Sorry.
And I was like,
No, the 501st in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, they don't.
They're not getting blown up.
Yeah.
When I was working on Dark Knight Rises back in 2011,
Yeah.
12.
Decade ago.
I was in the light stunt ring around. So basically, I worked on the large sequence where Bane and Batman are like fighting on the steps, right? There is Bane and Batman in the middle. They're fighting. The next ring around them are full combat stunt people.
Yeah.
Who are like doing really good shit.
Union.
And then the next ring around them are people like me who are like professionals, but like I'm not a full-on stunt person. With me, I was dressed as like a fucking ragamuffin, and then I was fighting a cop, and we're doing like this in the background, right?
Yeah.
And then on the outside of us are a bunch of extras who aren't at all close to somebody.
Yeah.
And the way that you build that out is so that there's motion in the back and it looks like there are people fighting, but it is safe.
Yeah.
And even for that sequence, like I have training, like I have my certificates with the Society of American Fight Directors and combat and stuff. And I was nowhere near capable of being in the inner circle near Bane and Batman, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's like because in close quarters like that, especially the danger is heightened. Because if you are not perfectly hitting your mark and angles, you are falling into somebody else who is not prepared because they're doing their own thing. Yeah. So
Lemon Squeezy says, "Can we see when timestamps are ready?" No. I think there were 440 extras on set that day. I am just in the crowd. But
there's other movies you can see him in.
Yeah, here and there. I did love it. I loved working on that. That one was fun. It was cool to see Christian Bale and Tom Hardy in the suits.
Yeah, for sure. Can't imagine.
Yeah, that one. It was definitely stressful because the one extra died in the porta potty, which just like changed the tenor of that set. Because I also worked on the first Avengers movie. Doing extra work in New York was literally how I paid my bills for 4 years. This isn't like some amazing thing I was cast in. I literally was like a phone number they would call and be like, be in this place. And so I worked on a lot of stuff. I worked on...
we need you to get into this unmarked white van at this time, at this location, and you will be paid for it.
Yeah, literally. And I worked on all the Netflix Marvel shows at some point, except for not Black Lightning.
Black Lightning. Oh, you mean oh my god.
Luke Cage. I did work
on
Luke Cage, but I worked on the others. And so yeah, it's fun. I loved what I did, and I enjoy doing stunt stuff. I think I'm a little old for it now. My knee probably wouldn't hold up. My body's old. Obviously, there are much older stuntmen than me, but
there's stage combat drop-in classes. It'd be fun if we could.
Yeah, I'm just kind of good.
All right.
It was a part of my life that I don't know if I'm gonna go back to, but
that's fair.
Did you qualify for SAG-AFTRA? Maria, I've been SAG for years. I'm like a full-on I'm a full-on
member
actor
of 4 unions.
Yeah. I'm SAG-AFTRA, ACTRA, Canadian Actors Equity, and Actors Equity.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see
so
me
many dues
on a television show coming to Amazon Prime soon.
Hell yeah.
Where you'll see my penis. So sorry about that.
Fair warning.
Anyway, my point is, no, those were stunt people. That was a dangerous. Especially with the bus. That was dangerous.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Peter shows up, and everybody stops fighting because everybody loves Peter. Probably because his penis is massive. I know we saw, people are talking about it in the chat, dude is hanging dong.
Yeah, dude is packing.
Yeah, really proud of him.
Well done. Yeah.
So they go down, and they realize that the way that they're going to stop this is that they're going to go underneath the machine and grab the matter beam and the antimatter beam.
Yeah, and connect them with human flesh.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about?
What?
Right before the final fight with all the Deadpools, Wolverine pulls his hood up and he gets the mask. And I understand why it's not in more of the movies. Because it's a little... It would be hard to work around, but fuck, did it look good.
It did. It looked great for this moment.
I did cry.
Yeah. I think it was nice because it wasn't overused.
Yeah.
It was impactful. It looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that it helped them hide whether or not that was actually Hugh Jackman getting electrocuted at the end of the movie with those abs. Do you think that was him or not? Because he had the mask on, so it might not have been.
I think it was.
I want to believe that it was. I really do.
Look at the dude. Like, I know. Like genuinely, I think it's him.
But he said at one point that he said that he didn't want to come back to the role because he didn't want to have to dehydrate again.
Yeah, but look at his arms.
I know.
Look at them.
I know. It was just one of those things where, like, he said in so many interviews that he wasn't going to do that ever again, and then he did it. And I was like, wait, well...
He fucking caved.
Yeah, it's true. till you're 90.
Yeah. No, literally.
Yeah.
Look, I think that Hugh Jackman is the kind of person to be like, no, I'll fucking do it, you know?
Yeah.
It looks good.
I'll fucking do it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they absorb the beam. It was supposed to kill one of them, but it doesn't.
Because there's two
Because they
of
do it
them.
together.
The power of friendship.
Yeah. We get a good Spock joke, which I always appreciate, from the best Star Trek movie. And the movie ends happily ever after with Morena Baccarin being like, I'm going to peg you, boy.
Pretty much.
And then we get the best part of the whole movie, maybe, is the goodbye to all of Fox. I thought
Yeah.
I thought the not the post credits. I thought the credits little mini documentary was truly wonderful.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was sweet.
the best part of it is that they don't make a joke.
Yeah.
It is because I thought the song was gonna lead to a joke. Like it was gonna end with Deadpool like be like, oh, it's so sad, or something dumb. And no, it is 100% sincere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not very Deadpool at all. And they say a genuine goodbye to everything, including Fantastic, which they reference.
Yeah.
All of it. It's all there. And I thought that was genuinely an unreal choice for them to have made.
Yeah. No, I thought that was a highlight of the movie, which is weird because it's like beside the movie.
Yeah.
But
they get shawarma.
Sweet. Yeah.
Did you know the Avengers invented discovered shawarma?
Yeah.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are saying they made a joke about Hugh's divorce, which I definitely missed.
They did. They did. Early in the movie.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was married, so.
Yeah. And I think like recently divorced too. Like it was, yeah.
I'm sure he was like, yeah, it's fine. I don't know. I don't know who he was married to or what happened, so. I don't even remember the joke.
I do wish someone from Fantastic had shown up in the movie. Like I think it would have been really fun to have like Kate Mara in scenes, but she has a different wig in every scene. Have you seen Fantastic?
Maybe.
There's a very famous part of that movie where, the whole movie, they did a bunch of reshoots because they fired the director and like had to like finish the movie even though it's very much not finished. There's a point in that movie where the movie goes 3 months later and then the movie's just over. It is wild. But in the reshoots, they didn't have her hairpiece. And so she has a new wig.
Oh.
But in some scenes...
It's like when Henry Cavill has a mustache sometimes that's weirdly CGI'd out and not others.
Yes, but sometimes it's in the same scene. And so it'll literally be like, she'll say a line, Dr. Doom will say a line, her with different hair will say the next line. It is genuinely like...
Interesting.
It's such a wild choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Rob Shadows, thank you. Yes. Now I do remember that joke.
Yeah, he's usually showing himself go since the divorce, which is hilarious because at the end of the movie he takes his shirt off and he looks fucking incredible.
Yeah. Goddamn. Yeah. No, guys, this was a really fun movie.
Yeah, we got some of... I wanted to air some grievances, but I did really... Like, it's an 8 out of 10. It's very fun.
I give it a 7 out of 10. I don't know, like, if I'll go back and rewatch it, but, like, I had a blast at the theater for the most part, and that's good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it seems like a lot of people like it. There are people out there that are like, this is Marvel's best movie to date, which, unfortunately, I don't agree with.
It's not even my favorite Deadpool movie.
No.
I still think the first Deadpool movie is the best one.
It's the best one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just because it's so tight. It's so tight.
Maria wants to know if this movie will break $2 billion.
No. I think 1.6.
Okay.
What was it?
I would have said 1.5. I think it's going to do well. But, yeah.
You know what? It honestly depends on the international. I think it's going to do really well. Oh, it did 440 worldwide this weekend? Oh, shit.
440, that's pretty good.
What's coming out in the next few weeks? What's gonna knock it off, right? Because I don't think it'll be Borderlands.
Borderlands is the only one
I think Borderlands maybe does 35 million.
Oh, I think people are not happy with Borderlands.
Well, that's why I'm saying maybe 35.
Yeah.
They're hoping for 60. It made 205 million domestic, 440 worldwide. So it made 235 domestic or 235 internationally this weekend. anytime the international opening weekend is larger than the domestic, it's doing pretty good.
Right, yeah.
So 205 domestic, it's probably going to land at like...
I don't know what else is coming out in the next couple weeks, and I think that makes it tough, because if there's nothing else of note really dropping, then yeah, it might hit 2 billion. Like,
I just think that it's too cameo driven, and I don't know that it's a movie that people are going to go back. I just don't know that people go see movies in the theaters multiple times anymore like we used to.
Some people saw this movie twice this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm willing to say, is it getting? I don't think it'll get a Chinese box office. I don't think it'll do China, right?
I don't know. Yeah, there's too many.
If it gets a Chinese release, it might hit 2 billion. China. Oh no, it did open in China.
Yeah, July 26th. Yeah.
How did it do in China? That's the question. If it did well in China, then 2 billion's definitely on the horizon. Or definitely a possibility, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Ruined. They're not really...
Although we probably won't get China box office numbers for a few days.
True. But there aren't any huge blockbusters coming out for a while.
Ooh, 24 million in China this weekend.
Okay.
It's not amazing, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It might make $100 million in China. I don't know that it'll do better than that, though, which would...
Oh, Alien Romulus. That feels like a very different...
Isn't that like mid-August? Oh, no, I guess it's August now. Oh, my God.
I'm so sorry, babe.
It's in like 2 weeks.
It's like, it's August. It's my birthday.
I don't think... No, I'm going to say no to 2 billion, but I do think it will hit 1.5 or 6.
Yeah, I said 1.5 at least.
Well, no, that would be 3xing its money. No, it's going to do 1. Realistically, it'll probably do 1.2.
Okay, I'm going to say 1.5, so...
I think it'll definitely hit 1 billion, though.
Bet.
I would be shocked if it didn't.
Yeah. I mean, it made almost half that in one weekend.
Yeah. I think that the drop-off next weekend won't be too bad, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Aquaman 2 is still making money in China. That's interesting.
We still haven't seen that movie.
Yeah. My favorite superhero, I haven't seen it.
I know, I'm so sorry. Oh, Beetlejuice connecting.
Are we back?
Are we back?
Are we back?
Oh, I think we're back. Yep. We're back
so
on my phone.
back.
Sorry, guys. Internet just, like, bopped out.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't think we'll hit 2 billion. But I do think that, like, it'll be up. It'll be up there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is fun. If we, if you guys like doing this kind of thing where we save spoilers for, like, a live stream, let us know. Cause
I like the spoiler chat as a live stream more.
I know, me too. It was kind of fun.
You know what the next one we might do is?
What?
Alien Romulus.
You're going to make me see that movie?
Do you not want to go? I thought the trailers have looked really good. Do you not agree? Okay. I might go see that one by myself, and we might do
to give me a heart attack. And yes, Ryan, you know exactly. I got the fucking matching fit, okay?
From Lulu, yeah.
She knows. She knows.
Lemon Squeezy says, "Are we pumped for Hot D tonight?"
Hell yes. Go watch my Instagram reel because I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yes, go watch the Instagram reel. It's very funny. Apparently, Hot D tonight is the best episode of the season, according to some people. And so I am stoked. I know several people who saw the episode already at Comic-Con. They did an early screening. I am so stoked for Hot D.
Yeah. Very, 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 very excited. Yeah.
Do live shows for Rings of Power. It's going to depend on if we like it or not. If we like it, then maybe we'll do like the reaction and then maybe we'll do a live. That sounds fun. But it depends if we like it or not. The problem... Maybe. So here's the reason why that might not happen.
Because I can be a bitch.
We might do one for the season because it drops on Thursday nights. And then the next day we have book club. And so being live for more than just book club on a Friday is tough.
That's going to be too much.
Maria says trailer for ROP season 2 looks good. We watched it. We did not react to it.
Yeah, I like
I liked the visuals a lot. I think the horse charge looks like incredible.
It looks sick. Yeah.
It looks big.
Yeah.
I hope the story is as big as the trailer because the story is the thing about season 1 that we both agreed was missing a little bit. So.
Yeah.
I hope I can get a little bit more on board with Galadriel this season.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever like yelled the way that I have. What was that? Episode 5 of season 1. I was mad. It's fine. Doesn't matter. We're gonna get to that when we get there.
We will definitely be doing reactions to Vox Machina Season 3.
Yes.
All of the stuff we've seen from it so far looks so good. So very excited for that.
Yeah. JJK is...
Wednesday.
There you go.
Demon Slayer Tuesday, JJK Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'll be episode 1 will be public, and then after that we're doing 2 and 3. We're doing 2 episodes a week after that, and those episodes will be
Richardson Nerdy's doing Demon Slayer on his Nerdy is it Nerdy Daily or is it still
Nerdy Daily?
Anime?
No, Nerdy Daily on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing Demon Slayer over there. Demon Slayer, I'm going to be switching to the sub after episode 3. Jujutsu Kaisen, listen to the sub for the first episode, and then we're going to be switching to the dub for the rest of the show.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It moves very fast, and I felt like it was hard to read fast enough before the captions would disappear.
Yeah. And I wanted to enjoy the animation and the action sequences more than just being like reading it. So.
Yeah. We haven't seen the new Interview with the Vampire. We'll probably watch it at some point. I don't know if we'll react to it because honestly the numbers for reactions on season 1 were not very good.
No, and we're trying to do less reactions and more stuff like this where we're...
and honestly, like the problem with Interview with the Vampire is, with something like Interview with the Vampire is we pay someone to edit our videos. And so if the reactions, if we don't really want to like lose money on reactions.
We have to at least make back the money that we pay our editor to edit them. And shows that don't do that, unfortunately, get
Did those reactions end up getting views eventually?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just curious.
It's tough because sometimes what we want to do is.
Actually, yeah, they're all over 10.
Oh.
That's so interesting. They did so poorly at first. What happened?
They just grew slowly over time.
They never stopped.
Okay, well, you know what? That's really nice to see.
That is actually, we should have checked. Yeah, they're actually growing. They
Looks like they got a bump for season 2.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting.
We might have fucked up.
Well, we'll figure it out. You found us through Fallout. That's fun. Fallout was such a good show. I am like...
Yeah, look at the episode 1.
Huh. Yeah. Got more views recently.
Made its money.
It did. No, that is nice to see.
I remember it not doing well. And,
well, because it like...
Apparently I'm wrong.
It has kept growing, which... Yeah. Often our TV show videos don't do. Because that's nice to see.
The finale, the first 2 weeks only had 4,000 views, which is really bad for us financially. Yeah. And now it's at almost 14,000. That's crazy.
But even so, that one.
That
one
7.
did not make its money back.
Where's the finale?
You're from the Cosmere Book Club. Hello. Book Club is fun. We're very, very excited for Stormlight Archives. It's been a freaking blast. And you found us through Howdy. Thank you, guys. I'm always genuinely so curious how people find us.
There were 7 episodes in season 1.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
Also, we don't have an episode 5 reaction?
I thought it was in there.
That's weird.
Have y'all seen What We Do in the Shadows? We saw the movie, but we did not watch the show, actually.
When we started dating, the movie was the first thing
that
we watched together.
Yeah, you were like, let's watch this, and I was like, sure?
Because it's one of my favorite movies.
Expanse. Cheers to that. Expanse was awesome.
Do we not have an episode 5 for some reason?
Maybe it got, borked.
Yeah, there must be a reason.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thank you for watching these videos after the fact. That's so sweet of you all.
Yeah. It's nice that they continue to grow because there's things that don't.
This is the wrong thumbnail.
Yeah, someone said that before, but then on my phone it is the right thumbnail. So I don't know why.
Yeah, in the YouTube Studio app it's the right thumbnail.
The thumbnail is being funky.
Anyway, we have to go make dinner.
Yeah.
The plan was supposed to be 2 hours, so we're going to return tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
With the House of the Dragon Season 2 Episode 7 reaction.
That'll be up at
4 p.m. Eastern, as always.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday, Jujutsu Kaisen Episode 1. And then on Friday, we're at Gen Con. If you're going to Gen Con this weekend, come say hi. We'll be there. Yeah. I will be GMing for Darrington Press and Critical Role. So I might get to play some. I might get to be your GM. I might get to be your game master. Claris isn't working. She's just doing stuff. So
I'm hanging out. I might stream on Tuesday, but that is a maybe.
I might stream tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, if you are interested in my streams, I stream at Claris Polaris, both on Twitch and YouTube. It's easy enough to find, but the Nerdy Nightly streams, I have my own, or we're both on here for my stuff, and then I usually stream Wednesdays. So if you're into Baldur's Gate, or honestly, mostly just chatting, coming out on usually Wednesday afternoons, but obviously we're driving on Wednesday, so.
Thank you everyone for watching, and don't worry, there's plenty of content coming, so we will see you all next time. Thank you to our mods.
If you're a patron, go vote in the poll for our Patreon.
Yeah. Oh, we have to do that Tuesday.
Reaction. Yeah.
Do something nerdy night, y'all.